Right, hi, good morning everyone. I hope you can all hear me well. The audio seems to be coming through, so yeah, let's get going. Right, thanks for joining us for today's webinar on Power BI. As most of you know, my name is Adam and I'm part of the Metaphorix account management team. I'm also joined here this morning by Mike Smallwood, who most of you know as our consultancy manager. And Mike's going to be taking you through this morning's demo and presentation. So today we're going to be looking at what is Power BI, the business benefits of it, and we're going to be touching on the Metaphorix Power BI Content Pack. So just to let you know, today's session is being recorded and will be available to view online in the near future, so I'll let you all know when that's available. As usual, if you've got any questions at the end of the presentation, I'll pop my details up on the screen. So please feel free to give me a call or drop me an email if you'd like to know more. We just do that just to save a bit of time at the end. So if you're ready, Mike, I'll hand over to you and we'll get started.
Hello there, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me. What I'm going to talk about today is just a little bit about Power BI in terms of what Power BI is, how Microsoft are positioning the product, how you can use Power BI with NAV, and how you can potentially use Power BI from a mobile perspective, so when you're on the go with smart devices. So just to give you an idea of what Power BI is, everybody will know that Microsoft are pushing business analytics and business intelligence very hard. Their platform and product of choice is Power BI. Power BI actually has a number of components. It has Power BI Desktop, which is the authoring tool, and we're going to show you Power BI Desktop, but that's where you create your data queries, accessing the data sources of your choice. You create your measures and dimensions around those queries, and you define your visuals for people to consume the business intelligence. There's Power BI Pro service. So the PowerBI.com service is the web-based service that effectively allows you to share shared content on the web. Power BI Pro licenses are about $10 a user per month, so circa £7 a month per user. But in terms of Power BI, what we're talking about is a sort of a 360 view of your business. The idea is that it's fast and easy to access your data. So rather than having fixed reporting and fixed reports for specific content, for specific use cases, the idea is that you can publish up a data dictionary with lots of key measures and dimensions and effectively allow the user to dice and slice that data any way they like. And I'll show you some examples of that and talk about the Power BI Content Pack that we put together. And I'll also briefly talk about the Content Pack that Microsoft have put together for NAV. But just to recap, it's about graphical presentations of information, accessible anywhere, anytime, any device. So if you access the Power BI Pro service, you can access that via PC, tablets, any mobile smart phone with the screens all optimized for the device you're interacting with. It is interactive, so the idea is that the user can define their own views and content, and they can define and discover information around the data that discovery that is not necessarily thought about at the time that you consume specific reports historically. You can also control the data refresh. So some of our customers, it depends on the complexity of the queries and how they're integrating with NAV, but you can refresh that data and publish that data periodically, or you can have the system automatically refresh the data. So just to give you an example of what we're talking about, here's an example of some analysis, but simple bar charts showing month-to-date sales and profit comparisons. So month-to-date, this period versus the same period last year. So very simple, straightforward graphical presentations that tell a great story. But part of the effort involved here is making sure you have the right measures and the right data relationships in the queries, which I'll come on to. Another example here is an order book. So this is an outstanding sales order book. Again, 5 quick visualizations that show the number of outstanding orders by period, the number of customers that those outstanding orders relate to, and the value of those orders, and also the descending value of those orders by customer. Okay, all of these graphical visualizations are interactive. So when I come on and show you the detail, you'll actually see what I mean by that. Here's another one that we've put together, a customer and item revenue analysis. It also includes ABC classification. So what we're trying to show here is for a given financial year, we show you the sales by period. We're actually showing you the number of customers that comprise those sales. We're showing you the profit by region, general product posting group. We're also showing you the sales by customer and sales by item profit segmentation. So we've created some analysis views for you that allow you effectively to dynamically segment your customers. So here we've got user controlled profit banding. So in my example here, I've said excellent profit banding is greater than 50%. Good profit banding is 25 to 50%. Average profit banding is 10 to 25%. Those bandings obviously very much depend on the industry sector and the products that you're servicing your customers with, but that's all configurable. So the idea is that you can see where your revenue is coming from and what profit banding is relevant for that revenue. And then what we also have is customer segment, customer and item classification from an ABC classification point of view. So typical ABC classification, what's your top 70%, what's your next 20%, and what's your bottom 10%. All of that can be configured so you can create multiple bands and create multiple categories to suit. Okay. What I'm going to actually show you, these visualizations, we'll come on and show you the actual content in a second, but I just wanted to cover what we include in our content pack. Microsoft does have a Navision content pack. It does have some limitations. Some of the limitations are that it's not multi-company. You also can't control the amount of data in terms of your fact tables. And what we mean by fact tables is the tables that have the metrics, the measures on those tables. So you can't control things like the date from which you want to start pulling that data. We've got lots of configuration around each of the fact tables to help you do that and reduce the volume of data. But essentially what we provide is configured data sources that include all of the main fact tables. So it's things like inventory movements, it's your sales, so it's invoices and credits, it's shipments, and it's your open order book. It's purchase invoices and credits, purchase receipts, and purchase order book. It's also GL entries and GL budgets, and we have job ledger entries and job budgets. For each of those fact tables, we also define some predefined measures. Now, what we talk about measures, they're the numeric values that you're looking to dice and slice by classification. So we include things like revenue, we include cost, we also do ABC classification by item, customer, and vendor, and we also provide revenue and cost of sale a margin period comparison. So it's really easy to compare month to date, quarter to date, year to date with the same periods in the previous year. We have revenue and cost versus budgets out of job ledger and general ledger, and we also have shipment and receipt performance metrics. So you can measure, the service you're delivering to your customers in terms of how, are your delivery notes being shipped on time and in full, and the same in terms of receipts from your suppliers. So we give you some capability to measure your performance metrics, both in terms of how you're doing and how your suppliers are doing. Lastly, in terms of dimensions, we allow you to dice and slice by a range of dimensions. And what we mean by a dimension, we mean advanced dimensions in terms of Navision. So often people have dimensions such as department or category, but we also mean a fixed attribute, a fixed analysis attribute. So we include a range of dimensions, including currencies, locations, customer attributes in terms of the account name, the region, county, territory, those sorts of things. Vendors, we also include item and item attributes, resources, fixed assets, and GL accounts. And in terms of movements, inventory movements, and documents, we have movement types, we have document types, and as I say, we also have division dimensions. So what I'll do now is just switch and show you Power BI Desktop. So this is Power BI Desktop. So as I say, Power BI Desktop is your authoring tool. So the first thing that you do within Power BI Desktop is define your data sources. Now, all our data sources are derived through OData. OData allows you to publish query objects direct from Navision, and then relate those query objects as in terms of a full data dictionary within Power BI. So basically what we've done in terms of modeling, if I actually give you a brief overview, what we've done is create a whole set of relationships between all these tables in Navision, which are published as queries. Okay, so things like inventory movements are related to vendors, they're related to companies, they're related to dimensions. We'll also relate items, locations, posting dates, and customers. So what we actually do is we build all the queries and then we provide the data relationships. And then on the right-hand side here, I just open up this a little bit further so you can see it. We list all the tables. Okay, so all the tables here are a combination of fact tables, i.e. they include measures, but also they hold dimensions. So if we look at things like the sales table, what we've done here is within our query, we combine both posted sales invoices and posted sales credits, so you can see all your sales information in one place. Okay, so, and then we have a whole set of dimensions that you can analyze by. So we repeat this hierarchy of fact table relationships, supported measures, and dimensions across all the tables here. Okay, so that's what we provide for you. We also provide a multi-company solution. So the idea is that you can consolidate information across companies within your Navision database and see all that information in one place. So once you have your queries, the idea is that you build visualizations. And what you see at the bottom here are pages. Now, this whole content here is called a Power BI report, but think of the term report loosely. A report is a collection of visualizations spread across a number of pages. Okay, so what we have here is a number of pages, okay, that have different types of visualizations on. I'll show you just a few here. Here's our sales order book. Now, these pages are all interactive and all the visualizations on each of the pages are interactive, and you have a complete range of visualizations. Microsoft are extending these visualizations all the time. But you've got bar charts, you've got line charts, you've got matrix views, which are similar to views inside Excel. You've got pie charts, and you have things called slicers, which are just like pivot table slicers in Excel. So, for instance, here you can see if I click on the outstanding sales order, this is showing here that there's 113,000 in Germany as a country code, which is 25% of the total. If I drill down on that immediately, you'll see the content on all of the other visualizations reduces. So I can immediately see that 113,000 is spread across these two customers. Okay. of that 113,000, I've got 2 orders in January and I've got 3 orders in October. Okay. And there's my 2 customers, as we'd expect here. And this is where, from a value point of view, it's spread across. Just have to drill out and it comes back. Again, what I can do is I can slice by salesperson and I can see how that order book is broken up by salesperson. As you can see here, we've got some outstanding credit memos as well as orders here unposted. So you get the idea. These are all user-defined, completely interactive. We also have finance. So one of the things you can do in Navision is expose your account schedules. So if you're using account schedules to get things like trial balance and P&L income statement reports, those can be exposed directly to Power BI and seen as visualizations inside Power BI. So last one I just wanted to show you before we look in a bit more detail about how these are constructed is my item sales and revenue profit. So as you can see here, this was the one that I had a screenshot. Let me just close these down so that you can see in a bit more detail. So what I'm seeing here is visualizations for the whole company for the current period for the whole year. So what I'm actually seeing is sales by January, and I'm seeing the week numbers here. I can drill up here and see the total sales by January. I can drill back down and see the sales by week numbers. Okay. Again, if I drill on Germany, you'll see that was actually split up in this context. That was, those sales were split across 3 customers to the tune of 25,000, and it shows you where my profit banding was. I sat in my excellent profit banding, okay, and it shows you how that was made up and split across customers and which products that you sold. These are also interactive. So what I can actually do, if I drill down on Sidebar, for instance, so the Sidebar panel, the side panel was £12,000 of sales. If I drill down on that and drill through and look at my sales details, I've actually got a lower level report here that shows me for that £12,000 of sales. Okay, it was a total sales quantity of 13. It was my average sales price was 925. But I also, in the period, spent 42,000 on purchases with an average quantity of 2,000. So these were who I sold to, and these were the suppliers who I bought off in that period. So it's really easy to link reports and pass filtered content between those reports. So let me just quickly show you how easy it is to create these, and then we'll have a look at how we optimize them for the phone. So if I just come back here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to click on and do a new page. Now, we haven't got time to make this look really, really pretty, but this is just to give you an idea. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is do total sales. So what we'll do is I'll click on, first of all, I'm going to click on a slicer view. I'm only going to click company name, which adds it there. I can change some nice features to make this horizontal, make it responsive, and then basically that will collapse now. Okay, I'm also going to add another slicer for salesperson. So what we'll quickly do is put salesperson code on here. I'll move that up here. Okay. What we'll do now is we'll do a we'll make a matrix, and we'll make a pie chart of total sales. Okay, So what we'll do is we'll come back to sales. We'll make a pie chart and we'll do total sales sterling. And what we'll do is we'll pick the bill to customer and we'll add country region in there. So you start to see the picture. What we'll do, we'll just quickly finish off and we'll add a matrix view. So we'll put this one up here. Not spending a lot of time formatting this. You've got lots and lots of formatting options here. So what we'll do is we'll add, we'll do total sales by revenue band. So what we'll do is total sales by revenue band, and we'll do total customer count by revenue band. These are quite long descriptive names for these measures. We've left them deliberately descriptive so you can understand what they are, but you can change these column headings to suit once you've structured the measures. So what we'll do is we'll add revenue band on here. Okay, so and then what we'll do is we'll do last one and we'll do a matrix of total sales by revenue band, and we'll just put customer on there. So we'll come back to customer bill to, and we'll have customer name. Okay, and we'll put that in descending order. Okay, so again, all these are interactive. So if I drill down on any one of these, I can see in Germany, I've got 49,000 of revenue split across these customers. Okay, and it was split across these revenue bands. So basically, I can see my customers were segmented. So 18 customers had total revenues less than 5K. I can drill down in there and I can see which of those customers. Equally, I can see which of my important customers. I've got 2 customers that spent over 15K. Okay, so very easy. What I will do now is quickly show you how we do phone optimization. So if I come back to item sales by revenue and profit, what you can actually do is create a phone layout. Now this is where, because depending on how busy you make these pages, not all of the content will be appropriate for a phone. So you get the opportunity to configure your phone content. So what we'll do is we'll put that there. Okay, we'll put that there. We'll put that there. We might make this a little bit too busy, but we'll have a look. So if we just make that like that. And what I'll do, we'll just move these down a little bit because these don't need to be as big. Okay, so we'll give that a go. So go back to desktop view and we'll go back to phone view. So that's absolutely fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to publish this. So typically what you do, you create your visuals, you create your queries, you define the relationships between those queries, and then create your visuals. And then what you do is you publish. Okay, and part of the publishing activity is to update the PowerBI.com and make the content accessible on PowerBI.com. You've got complete control over users that access the content, and it's completely secure with certificates. So you've got control over exactly who accesses the PowerBI.com service. But if I actually publish this now and save it, I'm going to ignore my pending changes. Now, within PowerBI.com, you can specify workspaces, essentially a folder structure, and then you can specify which users have access to those workspaces. So I'm updating my standard one. This takes just a minute or so just to update. So what this is doing is it's all the data is encapsulated in this Power BI desktop report, and I'm now moving that report and all the data into the service. Okay. If you need to refresh the data, it's done that. If you need to refresh the data before you publish it, there's a refresh button. Okay, which is here, and that refreshes the Power BI report, pulling live data from the vision. So the thing to remember about this data is it's typically a business intelligence platform that is not real time. So it's up to you how often you refresh that data. If I open that now, I'm seeing the exact same content, but I'm now inside the Power BI service as a web browser accessed visual. So I have all the same information here. So I've got all the same information that I was accessing from within the Power BI desktop. It's just all the users now can access this directly. So again, exactly the same content. Okay, so what we will do now is look a little bit more at what you get in the Power BI service. These reports can be shared, so you can share this URL in with users, and you can provide users with a workspace that they can access. Okay. What you can also do is create dashboards, and think of dashboards as key metrics on a summary dashboard. So you have a single dashboard that gives you access to key metrics, and from those metrics you can drill down into specific pages of the report. So the way that you generate key metrics or visualizations, okay, you take any one of your visuals. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to do that one. So you get the option to pin to a dashboard. I'm going to create a new dashboard, and we'll call this Web Demo Dashboard. So I'm not going to get to the dashboard yet. I'm going to add some more visuals. So I'm going to add outstanding sales orders by country. Pin that to here. I'm going to go to item revenue and pin that ABC classification by customer. I'm going to do this one. And the last one I'm going to do is just put my trial balance. So Now, let me go to the dashboard. So the users can get to dashboards at any point in time, and these dashboards can be configured and moved around. So it's really easy to present a dashboard that has your key metrics, okay? And then when a user clicks on any one of these dashboards, they go to the page that holds the visualization where the dashboard that was pinned to the dashboard. So what many users do is they create summary dashboards by key business area, you know, as your key performance metrics by business area, and then the supporting detail is on the relevant page that the dashboard relates to. Okay, I'm going to show you Power BI Mobile now very quickly. Power BI Mobile is a completely free app. Okay, so once you're logged into once you're signed up to Power BI Pro, you can consume the content either direct via the browser or via the mobile app. And the mobile app is where the optimization, the screen optimization to the device comes into play. So what I just need to do, if you just bear with me a second. Right, so let me just quickly show you then Power BI Mobile. Right, so Power BI Mobile gives you access to all the same information that you see in the Power BI service. So I can see things like workspaces, I can see favorites. Okay, so if I just look at workspaces and go to my workspaces, okay, what I can actually see is dashboards and reports. Okay, so the dashboards are the summary KPI content, which we talked about, and we should see, if I just scroll up, my web demo dashboard that we've just created. Okay, so what you'll see is that dashboard, in fact, I didn't actually do it, but that dashboard can be optimized for the phone. Okay, so if I click on any one of these, you'll actually see this dashboard content. Okay, now you can actually scroll through these and optimize the content for the phone. I didn't actually bother optimizing the dashboard. If I turn my phone the other way, you see the dashboard as it is typically in the browser. If I turn it back that way, the dashboard is effectively as you chose to optimize the visualizations for the phone. Okay, so as I say, you can drill down into any of these. Okay, and you get quite a nice interaction on the dashboard. Okay, but the other thing I can do is I can go direct to the reports. So if I click on reports, and I do, in fact, what I'll do, I'll drill down to the report from the dashboard. Okay, so if I click on sales by period, what I can actually do now is click on the report, and I can see the report content optimized for the phone, which I tried to do, as you can see here, which again, I'm now in the report rather than the dashboard, so this is completely interactive. So if I drill down, click on the image on the phone, you'll see we're getting interaction in exactly the same way. Turn the phone the other way, and that's my full report. And what I can do is I can click and go to any of the pages in the report that we were seeing in the dashboard, in the Power BI.com service. So hopefully you can see that whatever is serviced up from Power BI Desktop to the Power BI service is accessible from a browser and directly from the mobile phone. Okay. Last thing I wanted to show you very quickly is what Microsoft have done in terms of enabling Power BI within Division. So since 2017, Microsoft have allowed you to embed Power BI content within role centers. Okay, so what they have is a Power BI reports page part here. So again, this is completely, that's the wrong period. This is completely interactive again. Let's just have a look. Has it lost my connection? I think it might have lost my connection. So I probably need to log on again. But this is completely interactive in exactly the same way. These page parts are connecting to the Power BI service. Okay, so it's not live data. If I go and put an order on in the Vision, it won't immediately appear in the relevant dashboard. It needs to be updated, but it does allow a user within the Vision to consume Power BI visualizations in the Power BI service. What you can do is expand the report to the Power BI service, accessing all the pages in the report. So I can drill through and work in exactly the same way as I was previously. If I cancel that, I come back to the default page in the report that was enabled on the Power BI visualization inside the role tailor client. So hopefully you can see. That's lost a connection. I'd need to look at that. Hopefully you can see that Microsoft have come quite a long way in enabling Power BI. Also, the work that they've done to enable NAV connectivity and also consuming Power BI from within the NAV client and also on the mobile. So that's me just about done in terms of a quick overview. What I think Adam would probably want to do is just finish off. So if we just come back to the presentation.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Mike. I hope you'll find that interesting, and thank you very much for being with us this morning. As I mentioned, those are my contact details up on the screen. So if you do have any questions, please give me a call or drop me an email. I've noticed that we had a couple come through on the chat as well, and I appreciate it's getting on a little bit. We're all busy people, so I'll follow up with those once we're done here. Keep an eye out for a recording of the webinar on our website soon. And also don't forget that our next webinar is on the 17th of May, and we'll be looking at the top 10 tips for manufacturing inside Nav. So check out our events page on the website for more details on that. So finally, thank you again for your time, and we'll see you again in a few weeks.